After an eventful day of working their way inside the human capital of Mainstay, the group found themselves invited to a lavish estate of one Lord Dakas. Over the course of the evening, he attempted to recruit his myriad of guests into his service, infiltrating the Arcaenum at Mainstay in order to search for his missing niece. One by one, the guests dropped out, leaving only the group and one other. With Lord Dakas' hospitality, they spend the night as they have time to mull over their decisions and present their plan in the morning.
I'm going to be honest with everyone here. We've come up with a perfectly good alternative to not have Luna join us on this entire expedition into the university. Normally, and he says, addressing Luna, I am all for exploring your potential and seeing where things go, but I think I'm going to have to side with Cat on this one. I think it best that you stay back until we can arrange a sure, safe way for you to enter. I don't know what anyone else's thoughts are on this matter, but I would feel very uneasy having Luna accompany us.
I agree. Luna is a great asset to us. It would be unwise to put her in the proverbial lion's den. She should stay outside of the university with Cad until we can find a safe way to get them inside.
I agree. Cad speaks up. As we spoke about, we have options before us. Mick makes the most sense. I don't want to call you bait, I apologize.
No offense taken.
But it would be better for Luna and I to wait, and then come in at the opportune time.
And speaking of, well, just the nature of this entire thing, we really do need all the help we can get. Rolandir turns looking for, is there like a porter or a servant anywhere near here that could go and fetch Lord Dakas?
The steward was outside the room, and so as you walk to the doors of the sitting room and peek outside, it's not hard to spot a servant or the steward himself that can do your bidding.
And Rolandir goes to find him. Excuse me, could I ask something of you or of Lord Dakas?
Yes, of course. The Lord's utilities are at your disposal.
Great. Well, you see, we have one of our friends. He's not here with us today. We left him outside the walls so he could finish up some business there. Would it be possible for someone from the estate to go and escort him up here? He's a shorter man, a Merrick, by look.
Why, yes, that would be no troubles. Why don't you just write something down for me? I'll fetch you a pad and pencil, and we'll be able to send a rider immediately.
Great, thank you.
He should be here by no later than tomorrow morning.
And Rolandir goes back to join the group.
So, what exactly is the plan once we are in the university?
We must first acquire weapons. That is what we are here to do. We will search for anything that will aid in our fight against the final aspect. And then we will search for a way to get Luna and Cad inside. Once inside, we will then find a teleportation circle and use it to transport ourselves to Miralag's aspect. Does anyone have any reservations about this? I want to be clear, because once we are inside the university, the time for debate about our plans will be over.
There is a task that I have been given from Yakuda that will ultimately help us in our quest to find weapons. I worry that, we'll see if Lord Dakas has any idea where we can find this gentleman that I am looking for. But I worry if we go into the university too soon, I might lose my chance to acquire a weapon from Yakuda by completing this favor for her. That is my only reservation.
Knowing Yakuda, I don't assume you're meant to simply converse with this man.
No.
Alright, well, I don't know that any indiscretion before getting into the university will bode well for us actually getting into the university, so I don't know. I think that needs to come secondary to our initial goals.
I disagree. If Val is saying that he can procure a weapon that will aid in our fight against the final aspect, it is more of a lead than we currently have. Once we are inside the university, can we not simply use the same spell that was once used to spy on me to then spy on whoever it is you are searching for.
I don't know anything about him aside from his name. I'm hoping that Lord Dakas might be able to connect me to him, but theoretically, yes, we could attempt to scry.
And just so we're clear, Mark, once we are in the university, I agree. I simply meant, well, I'll say it outright. Murdering someone in broad daylight won't exactly bode well for getting in the university, but once we're in there, we can do as we wish.
Very well. Here is what I suggest. Val, you may ask Lord Dakas if he knows who this person is or where to find him. But if it distracts too much from our purpose in coming to the university, you may have to carry out this task on your own and then find some way into the university. The rest of us can go inside and scour for weapons or any other useful items.
I think that would suit just fine, given that we are going to have to bring Cad and Luna in outside anyway.
And of me, once I'm in the university, how could I best be suited to help the company?
You are the key, honestly, to everything. You are the reason why we are being invited in, or at least playing the part. You need to be convincing, put on a show, as you are inclined to do.
It would be my pleasure.
And you also need to ask about the facilities. Try to find out where they would hold magical items. I am not aware of the layout, but a new student would be able to ask freely, I would imagine.
And of course, once we ascertain this information with Val's ability for seeming and Mick's own inherent shape-shifting, we should be able to ditch those disguises and adopt new ones. Move about as most as we can undisturbed.
Well, call me inconspicuous. I will gather intel, and I will also find a way for you to... an entry. An introduction.
If there's nothing else, then I think I'm going to find whatever room's been assigned to me and retire.
Good. Yes. I take it then we are all agreed, and Relendir pays a particularly long second staring at Luna, who has been up till this point quite silent on not going. You're all right with this?
I said my piece before.
All right. Then, Cad's right. We should get rest. We have a busy day tomorrow. And Relendir heads on to bed.
As will Vamak.
Val would like to find Lord Dakas if he can.
Yes, it doesn't take you too long, and it does require a servant, but that servant quickly returns and asks you to wait for just a few minutes more in the sitting room before Lord Dakas himself comes in. And before we jump into this conversation, with Brynir and Mick, are you also in the sitting room, or do you retire or head elsewhere in the estate?
I would say that if Mick didn't get the picture that it was a private conversation, Mick would be sitting there as well. Kind of off a little bit, but...
I think Val's pretty casual.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Brynir probably wouldn't... He's not going to bed, but he's just walking about.
There's a little balcony.
Yeah, he'll go out onto the balcony.
Ah, my good Valentine, yes. What could I do for you? And he takes a seat and gives a heavy sigh as he plops himself down on one of these large armchairs.
You mentioned that introductions was something that you could do.
Why, yes, of course. Whatever's in my power to assist one such as yourself. Granted, of course, your merry band comes to a favorable conclusion tomorrow morning.
I think we'll come to a conclusion that you can be quite pleased with.
Wonderful to hear.
Are you acquainted with a gentleman called Marsilius Plack?
Ah, acquainted? No, not acquainted strictly, but I know Count Plack well enough.
What do you know about him?
Nothing kind.
Would you care to elaborate?
Well, you see, there's a veritable rumor mill in the King's Court, and Count Plack is basically running it. Whether he's making them up about himself or the others, disparaging names and pursuing slanderous things is practically his pastime. Of course, when he's not trafficking in half-kin or magical children, so the rumors say, at least. As I said, nothing entirely kind, and I would dare not speak out against him in the public sphere, but I can assure you that there's not a single person who doesn't harbor some uncouth thought toward him.
Well, that's comforting in a way that I don't think you could ever even begin to understand, mate.
No, I don't believe I could.
Is he associated with the university at all?
I couldn't say for certain, though I'm sure in his repertoire of underhanded dealings the Arcaenum has come up once or twice.
How quickly could you get me in the same room as him?
Now that would be difficult. You see, Count Plaque is within the King's Court itself. Not every lord and lady that you see walking these fine streets of the Upper Mains is allowed entrance. Myself, of course, included in that group of those not entirely permissible. No, that would be reserved for, honestly, Count Plaque's rank or station and higher. Even our good Baron, who joined us this evening, wouldn't have had the simple pleasure of being able to stride in uninvited. No, it's quite the political game, and there's a bit of favor to be won and lost before one can come face to face with Count Plaque.
Well, perhaps you'd be good enough to teach me how to play this game.
Dear boy, you do this service for me, and I'll be more than happy to.
All right.
I give you my word. I see the face of my niece once more, and you'll be in the King's Court.
And if your niece is in a situation in which her face is no longer above ground, what then?
Then I'd hope you deign to word it a bit more delicately as you delivered the news to my wife.
Val just kind of shrugs.
I will say, Lord Valentine, there are eggshells galore on every surface that you tread, even in this estate. So I would ask you simply, not to hold your tongue, but perhaps curate it a little more closely.
Understood.
Good. Then if you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to before I retire.
Val will give him a courtly nod.
And Lord Dakas gives a nod back, stands, and exits. Is there anything else anyone desires to do before the night ends?
I was just going to say that Mick, being in the same room but kind of not in their conversation, was listening intently to this, even though it might not look like it, and takes note of Val's intentions, or rather, supposed intentions.
Then as everyone eventually retires to bed, you find, lavish rooms made up for each and every one of you, servants at your beck and call, and a night goes by quite uneventfully. In the morning, before the sun has barely even risen, there is a great commotion in the center hall, as at least according to the steward and the guards, a small Emeric man is brought in from outside the city gates and led into the estate. Breakfast is ready and served in the main dining hall, and attendants fetch each and every one of you for your morning meal. Luna and Kat are there. Luna is ready for the day's activities, dressed in her usual garb, and Cad seems to have touched up his disguise a little bit.
Oh, we're all in disguises, aren't we? Well, some of us are.
Rolandir is greeted essentially just as he was the night before. He is more ready now than he was prior, and just in manner of not as showy of clothing. He's removed some of the more ornate parts of it just to be somewhat more practical in his going into the university. Still looks presentable, but not impractical. And he greets the doorman with a smile and heads down to breakfast. Everyone sleep all right?
Now, I'll tell you the truth, I slept like a little baby. It was the most delightful thing until this strange man arrived, saying that y'all had made a deal with a Count...
Barty! Good to see you. Yes.
Chocula or something. And he said that we are going into the university, was my understanding. I don't need the whole deal. I just wanted to understand, because it felt like something was arranged, and he just said come, and I figured that you all would have a plan.
Well, as luck would have it, there is a plan, and you are deeply involved. So, and Rolandir takes a big fork full of egg and whatever else is on his plate. Eat up.
Bartholomew starts he's chowing down, so much so that he just gestures over to Rolandir. Says, now don't you forget that pig liver right there. That's got the delectable proteins and vitamins you need for the day. If it's going to be a big one, we want it.
Rolandir pushes it a little further away from the rest of the food on his plate.
Is it safe to assume that by this point the rest of the party has trickled down?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Val was very careful to make sure that his disguise was in place before being greeted in the morning, and I think has adopted a lot more of his Elverette air as far as nobility comes. Like, he was warned last night to be a little more proper, and he will put on that show appropriately.
As a context question, is my disguise of my own making, or did Val make that? I was not present for this moment.
It would be of your own making.
Okay, so it's terrible. Good to know.
Oh yeah, no intent.
Well, it can be his magic, right?
Yeah, hell.
That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that I'm shoveling eggs into my chest.
Oh no.
Sir Jack is also present at the table, and he points to Bartholomew and he's like, "All right, lad. Now that's a right little one there. Haven't seen one of ye in a long while. Didn't think I'd ever see one of your kind up this east and north. But look, I'll be proved wrong again and again."
Well, it seems like you, in fact, must be a fine man of quality. The good name is Bartholomew, sir. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance above this delectable meal. I'll repeat to you what I said to my friend Rolandier here. Make sure you eat that pig liver. It really will give you the stoutness you need for the day.
Aye, and you're right on, lad. If you don't have that, then you're going to be crashing not halfway through. The name's Jack, Sir Brigand Jack. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir. In fact, I think you might be the most rational, level-headed person that I have ever met in this fair land, and that includes my current companions. You seem like a man of distinction.
Now, you wouldn't be surprised now that many a lad and lassie, they actually say that very same thing about me upon meeting me.
I would not be surprised at all, sir. It is a true honor. And Bartholomew actually stands up, gives him a little bow. He says, "Now that, sir, is for your courtly ways and gestures. I am truly appreciative."
Right. Sir Jack actually kind of just peruses the rest of the group with his gaze, and he's like, "Then have you decided to help, then, the good old Lord Dakas and his niece? There's little conundrum."
Well, we haven't, I guess you could say formally told him of our decision, but it looks that way, doesn't it? How about yourself?
Aye, I think it'll be best in me interests.
Which are?
Me interests?
Oh, excuse me for prying.
Lord Dakas at this time actually makes an appearance, catching the tail end of this conversation and sitting at the head of the table. "Yes, I would actually be most excited to hear upon your conclusions."
Well, we discussed last night, and as we just told the good Sir Jack here, we have agreed to do the job.
Very well. I understand it is not an easy thing to accomplish, and I will not pry into the details. I wish not to know. In fact, the less I know, the better. But you'll have ample stay here until midday. At that point, I would kindly ask you to take on with this mission, and waste not in your time.
Could you tell us the name of your niece and give us a description of her so that we might be able to find her as quickly as possible?
Yes. She's Talic, mostly. Her name is Seton. Chestnut hair. Her skin just a tinge darker than my own. I believe she was favored in the College of Incantation. At least that's what her letters wrote home about. I couldn't say anything past that. The inner workings of the Arcaenum are yet a mystery to me.
And how long ago did she enter?
Why, she's been there a good many months. I dare say even a year. But it wasn't till a while ago when this incident occurred that things began to get dicey with her communications. I feared the worst, and I have given her parents a solemn vow and a promise, one I aim to keep, of making sure that her safety is my utmost responsibility.
Well, we'll do our best to uphold your responsibility then, sir.
Much appreciated.
And Lord Dakas, please, before we leave, could you be so good, if you have it at least, some uniforms for the university? Or rather, did they use uniforms?
As I said, the less I'm involved, the better, but I believe it is along the lines of Sir Jack here to acquire such privileged items and information. You'll be quite surprised with him, I dare say so even myself. The least tactful men are sometimes the most insightful.
Very well, then. Thank you. Oh, Jack? Same question for you.
Aye, lad. I've got something for you, all cooked up last night. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Now, I must say, before I do depart and excuse myself once more, I take it then that I have your promise. You will complete this task? Please, simply send for me back here at the conclusion of your mission. And with that, he stands, barely having even taken a mouthful of food, and bids you goodbye before leaving. And that's the last time you see him this day.
Would it be possible for us to move the trunk of money from the hotel to Lord Dakas' house?
Have we not already? I guess we haven't.
You can inquire about a steward would be able to take care of that.
Okay, great. Because I don't want to just leave all that money in the inn.
It is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Bartholomew is going to ask, really to the group as a whole, but just kind of announcing at the table, says, "Nah, I'm not entirely clear on what exactly is our mission. What did we just promise to do? And how do we intend to do it?"
We are looking for the man's niece, and we are going into the college. Mick is going to put on a disguise and pretend to be an intense user. There's not much else of a plan. Mick will gather information, and we will try to find out what we can.
Okay. Not to be the confused one in the bunch here. No one likes to be the kid who doesn't know what's happening in class. But I fail to understand how us having Mick go inside alone.
Oh, she won't be alone. We're all accompanying her as the respective interested parties in this newfound intent users education. Luna and Cad here, they will be, they won't be accompanying us initially. Our job will be to find a way for them to get in later.
Excuse me, are you referring to me? He, actually?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mick. Slip of the tongue. Yes, of course, you.
Not a problem, lad.
But anyways, yes, and you, Barty, will also be one of these interested parties, and you will be accompanying us.
And we believe this is like normal practice, correct? It would not be strange for us to enter the university in this manner.
Oh, yeah. Through a mouthful of bacon and eggs, Sir Jack speaks up. Friends and family go through the university all the time. Oh, excuse me. I mean, not so much friends and such, but when you're sending your kid off for who knows how long, you might not see him again. Apologies to Lord Dakas. Hope he didn't hear me. But the point is, it's a big undertaking for a wee lad or lass, and not all have the metal to hang that on their own.
All right, this seems like a good plan.
Now, and Sir Jack snaps his fingers, and a couple of the attendants come out carrying these trunks. I overheard a little bit of your conversation last night. I wasn't as buzzed as maybe I let on. I can hold my liquor well, I'll assure you, and keep a level head. And in doing such, I thought it would be prudent to go ahead and get a little things out of the way, such as these. And the chests are laid upon the table, like plates and platters are just pushed aside, clattering together. And he opens them both, and they're full of these dusty uniforms and robes. He's like, no, these aren't perhaps up to date exactly. But when you get inside, you'll probably be needing them, sort of blending in with the crowd. At least for you, Mickey. And then the rest of you can just look like concerned citizens and parents to begin with.
This will do just fine.
Now, I also won't be joining you going in. I think I'll be hanging back here with this Karen Luna types. I'm more on the, extraction side of things.
How will we get into contact with you when we're ready for extraction?
Well, I mean, these two will be here with me as well, won't they? I assume you've all got some way of speaking to each other, and they can relay that to me.
Val will shrug.
Cad just goes, yes, that's exactly what we'll do.
Very well. I see no reason to linger here. We should take our things and go, while the day is still young.
Yes, quite agree. And having his plate been smashed and pushed out of the way by these large trunks, Rolandir just stands up and grabs one of the uniforms that looks like it would fit him and finds an appropriate place to stow it on his person.
As everyone does likewise, these uniforms are a little ratty, dusty, some have holes in them, and they're various shades and colors. They seem to be from different years. I think Mick would probably take the most updated of the lot. And then does Mick go off on their own to assume a form out of sight?
Yeah, I think that would be safely assumed. Once I'm out of sight of Sir Jack, I will assume a younger.
And what is that form?
I still look like Mick does currently, but I have shaved off at least, I would say probably even like 15 years. So I look like a teenager, fellish man.
Stash or no stash?
Coming in.
Then as everyone moves outside the estate, their things packed and ready, their final preparations made, Luna, Sir Jack, and Cad stay behind. And a steward comes up and gives Val a letter. He says, "This is a letter of introduction. It will get you as far as the university's gates. From there you are on your own."
Thank you kindly.
And the steward gives a deep bow and goes back inside.
Shall we be off then?
Yes, and one thing that did come up from Bartholomew's questioning that probably would be good to get sorted out is, who exactly are we to be interested in Mick's attendance of the university? In case we're asked, at least who is the most interested? Perhaps the parent or guardian.
What do any of us look like we could feasibly be Mick's parents?
Now, I've got a solution to that. We just say that I am this strapping young man's guardian. Found him as a little pup hanging out by the road, and I picked him up on my trading ways. I mean, it wouldn't be so strange for me to be wandering around as one of the people from Emera.
Perhaps.
And then Rolandia and I will continue to assume our positions as bodyguards to Barty and the young Mick.
Precisely. Against bandits and whatnot, and it makes sense that traveling around as you would, knowledge of Mick's powers could be discovered readily by wherever they may be, so I think that is a good story.
Father Barty, it suits you. And what of you two? Perhaps you could be cousins, sisters, uncles? Not sisters, forget what I just said. Or unless you want to be, I can make it that way.
I don't. This is not necessarily a reflection on you, Barty, as you are very fast and a smooth talker, but do we want you in the lead on this?
I assuredly do not know what you mean. When have I ever failed when leading you all into battle? I can't think of a single incident that we have in Arcaenum together that has caused a problem.
Barty, you've never been in battle.
Well,
I will be Mick's father. Bartholomew can be a relative.
He's the weird uncle.
yes, an uncle perhaps. I could be a brother.
Vermac, nothing would make me happier.
Actually, now that you bring that up, it does make sense. You have that dour, want to impress father type of attitude, and I think that could
Yes,
really communicate this.
I agree. Uncle is very fitting.
Alright, so Vermac is the father, you are the uncle, I am a brother of some kind, and then 2 bodyguards.
That seems very reasonable to me.
Alright, well, let us be gone then.
The university at Mainstay is not hard to find. You're still in the upper mains as you leave Lord Dakas' estate, but you go even further through the hierarchy of the city, almost up to that gilded gate where you saw the greatest estates just past. Not as far, but nearly to that, sits the university, on its own, really kind of a bluff that comes out from one of the sides of these mountains and hills that form the backbone of the city. It is an enormous campus, a huge institution with large domed structures, towers, and walls with battlements and guards. As you reach the main thoroughfare that then leads to a bridge that will cross the gap onto this bluff, you are stopped by a group of no less than 12 magisters.
Val will present the letter of introduction.
One of them steps forward and looks at it, kind of peruses the information, and then he looks back up at you and he says, "Your name is Ciro Mechas?"
That would be my brother.
Which one is that?
He will gesture at Mick and sort of step aside to allow Mick to the front.
And Mick steps forward, takes his robe, kind of fans it out, and goes, "And here he is. You reign?"
And what is this? His very own parade?
We have come to see the boy off.
And you are?
I am the boy's father.
And these others?
We are all the boy's family. His brother, his father, his uncle. It does not so much matter. What matters is that we care for the boy, and we wish to see him off before he is taken to the university forever.
And what of these two? He says, indicating Rolandir and Brynjar.
Yes, says Rolandir, who was kind of already taking a half step towards the guard as Vamok was explaining. Well, you see, we have been in the uncle's service quite some time, as he has been about his days traveling, and young Ciro has accompanied him on summers and whatnot for many of that, and, well, he's grown to be quite a close friend, much as family. We would be remiss to not be able to see him venture through and begin his next journey.
The Magister kind of narrows his eyes at you, and then looks to Vamok and says, "And your name is?"
My name is Ciro Mechus II. The boy was named after me.
You could just call him Papa. That's what I call him.
I was going to make you roll deception, but with that from Mick, I don't think I will anymore. He just grumbles and he says, "I'll refrain." And he hands you back the scroll. Go inside. An administrator will take you to the necessary orientation. Move along.
We go forward past the Magisters.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to say that as soon as we get into just the walls of the university, Mick's going to be on hyper alert, just looking around and just taking in his surroundings.
As Bartholomew, upon hearing this interaction, and as they walk past, he just kind of shoulders Mick lightly, and he says, "You know, I always wondered why you called Vamok Pop Pop, but seems to all make sense now."
I don't call him that to his face, please.
Both of you, quiet down. Show some respect to your elders.
Yes, Papa. And then Mick kind of like does a little head nod and smiles at Barty.
Hefty wink.
Oh, amazing.
And no one's escorting us at this point?
No, you're on your own to go across the bridge. But once you do reach, the sides of this bluff, and the walls and gates and structures of the university tower above you once more, there are more magisters that greet you and usher you into a large courtyard that is done up with an immaculate garden. And standing there is what looks to be someone in similar robes to what Mick is wearing, though having different colors, another magister, and then someone who seems to be in a servant role carrying a, pad of parchment and a slate block to write upon. The person in the robes approaches and says, "Welcome. I assume you must be a new addition that we were told about."
I am. I'm Ciro. And your name?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Milan.
Pleasure is all mine.
I regret to say I won't be accompanying you throughout this introduction. I will be off doing some of the duties, but you see, I'm a student here myself. This is my 3rd year. There's a master on their way. They were just recently informed of your arrival. I apologize. Milan turns to Vamok, who they assume is the father, for the inconvenience if that poses, but it will be just a short wait.
Very well. Then perhaps, Milan, you could tell us a bit about the university. What are the facilities here?
Well, you'll find that your son is well cared for, well fed. There are facilities for hygiene and for sleeping. We're well looked after here, and there's an expansive library. You'll find the different wings of the colleges offer many exciting instruction opportunities, and the masters and instructors are very hands-on here. And I don't know what you've heard, if anything, regarding rumors and such, but there is no danger at the Arcaenum.
Is there ample opportunity for the students here to train with weapons and artifacts bound with intent? Or is it merely personal development?
I'm going to have you roll persuasion.
Pretty blatant there.
Yeah. So we don't really care about your facilities, but tell us about your weapons.
That is the equivalent of asking your child's college professor what exact benefits he's getting from his liberal arts degree.
That's exactly what it is.
That's more like you're sending the person to get a liberal arts degree, and you go there and like, yes, but are there machine guns here that someone could use if they needed them?
Exactly.
Hey, if he's a father, he might be asking out of concern for safety.
That's true.
Man.
Yeah, and there was the event, or the incident,
Papa
not too
cares.
long ago. Pop cares.
Can we get that on a
I
shirt?
was just about to say.
Vermak got a 21. I don't know why I showed you guys. You can't see it, but I'll show you guys.
Milan raises their hands like, yes, of course. Our imbuement and artificery master, Torvi Tennel, is incredibly adept at such practices, and I assure you that all of those weapons and artifacts and such are carefully contained and maintained.
You have said enough. Off with you. And Vermak kind of shoos him away.
Oh, all right then. And Milan just kind of reaches out toward Mick, grabbing at his hand or arm. Is like, it's good to meet you. I hope I see you around.
It was very good to meet you too, Milan. Ta-ta.
And Milan leaves. You're left alone then with the servant and the magister while you wait for one of the masters to arrive.
Vermak, have I ever told you that you just have a way with children?
Who the hell is Vermak?
Oh, it's this person I like to talk to in my head. He just follows me around. It's actually why I'm such a good bodyguard. He warns me of things, and he kind of looks over his shoulder rather quickly.
And the magister's like, God's damn crazy. At this moment, you see someone come into the courtyard wearing these just elaborate black robes that seem very plain at first sight, but as they glint in the light, you see that there are intricate, small patterns interwoven throughout them, and some sort of rank on the side. Everyone that notices this individual gives them a certain reverence, and I think it's safe to assume for all of you that this is the aforementioned master. However, he takes quite a while to get to you. He kind of walks in zigzags and swirls and circles, and then picks at something and eats a little leaf off of one of the branches of the bushes, and then finally works his way to you, examines the magister quite acutely. The magister just stands there, like, sweating and looking rather agitated, red in the face, as this well-dressed man of Talic descent kind of puffs up the magister and straightens his robes and adjusts his armaments and armor, and then seems to look at you all with an air of surprise, as if he just barely noticed you're standing there, and goes, "Oh, wonderful. My name is Othorpal. I am the master here of incantation. I assume one of you, probably you," and he points at Mick, "is a new student that we are to welcome into the university today. Am I correct in this assumption?"
Guilty.
Perfect. Then I assume you have many questions as parent and other individuals. He motions to the rest of the band.
Family. We're his family. Then he gets a stupid grin on his face.
Now, I regret to inform you that, oh yes, you may all come along for the orientation. It will not take long. It is just a small tour of our facilities. I will have to ask, as per order of the magisters, believe me, I would have it any other way, but it is, that your weapons and armaments will be left behind in their care. I assume this will not be a problem.
Relander gives a quick look over at Brynjar. I don't think so.
I don't know why you'd be looking at Brynjar. He only has a dagger. Nobody sees it. He doesn't have any armaments either.
Yeah, you're the only armed one, Relander.
I mean, you're just the other bodyguard. Then, I see no reason why I should not oblige. And he takes off his sword from his belt, hands it over to the Magister with a little hesitancy, but then releases.
Wonderful. Magister Rakahiel will return your weapon as soon as we are finished. Now, if you'll please follow me, welcome to the Arcaenum.